Ladies and gentlemen, they have caught the person responsible for Charlie Kirk's death. It's Tyler Robinson, a 22-year-old man from Utah, and he's already in police custody. He was turned in by his father. Yes, his own father turned him in. He was the one who called the police. And well, that guy is facing the death penalty. Notice this detail. His Converse shoes are visible in the leaked photo. Here we can see that he's wearing exactly the same shoes as in this photo. Incredible. I mean, these were the shoes he wore during the execution of Charlie Kirk. Wow, so this guy has been captured. He's already in police custody. And even Trump himself has confirmed it. Here they tell us, President Trump says that the killer of Charlie Kirk was captured with the help of his father and a minister. Here we can see more photos of Tyler Robinson with exactly the same shoes. Can you see it? Here we see more. He's eating, having breakfast. Okay. And here too, in exactly the same room with the same shoes. Amazing. Yes, here's the Converse box. See it? That's wild. Look. To commit a crime like this in front of thousands or millions of people because you knew it was going to go viral, and to wear exactly your same shoes, the ones you used every day, seems like a pretty serious mistake to me. Look, when the events happened recently, I thought, and I think many of us thought, that the culprit was much smarter and more cunning, and we realized that he wasn't that much. However, I believe we should directly criticize the FBI's actions. They took a very long time to release his photographs. They took quite a while, too long. They gave him plenty of time to escape. In fact, I'm sure they didn't even know where he was. They had no idea at all. It wasn't until his father called the police that everything changed. But before that, they had no idea where this guy was. Incredible. Here's another photo of him. Remember, his name is Taylor Robinson, age 22. Precisely because of his age and his appearance, he was able to infiltrate among the university students. He had no problem at all. He was able to blend in with everyone. Let's even remember that he had that United States and Liberty t-shirt. So that's why he was able to infiltrate among everyone without any problem. This is a video of Taylor Robinson.
You've been chosen for the Presidential Scholarship for Residents at Utah State University. This scholarship is worth about $32,000. This scholarship is available for 4 years or 8 semesters.
That was before and this is now. Just look at his mugshot. This is what this guy looks like. He has already been captured. And Trump is demanding the death penalty. Even the governor of Utah is also calling for capital punishment. Here we'll look at some photos, including one of him saying goodbye to his mother before leaving for college. Who would have thought that the guy would become radicalized and end up committing a heinous crime? Here we see a photograph of him driving with his mother. Do you see that? They look like a normal family, and they were a completely normal family until today. But look, it turns out they found the mom's Facebook. These were the posts from the murderer's mom. I mean, do you realize? They were normal posts, just regular posts. We can even see her celebrating her son's 19th birthday. Can you see that? I think the family never imagined that this would happen. Ah, what a tragedy. Let's see. Obviously, this has caused many people to go to the mother's Facebook profile and comment that her son deserved it and all that kind of stuff. But look, I ask you, please don't do it. Understand that this family is a broken family. It used to be a normal family, but now they're facing consequences. Guys, I want you to notice this. The father of this boy was the one who turned him in. Are you aware of that? His own father. And all this even though he knew that Trump is asking for the death penalty. The parents turned in their son knowing he would likely face the death penalty. Do they realize how hard that is for the family? This family is obviously going through a tragedy, and apparently from what little is known, the son was a normal person. Until he went to university where he became radicalized, which honestly I don't think surprises any of us. Look at what happens in universities. Look at what the professors teach. It's complete madness. I remember 12 or 13 years ago when I was in college, when I started, it was a normal university, very, very normal, like the kind any of you could imagine. But as I was graduating and finishing up, those were the beginnings. We were starting to see the famous feminist clotheslines. We were starting to see inclusive language and a whole bunch of totally absurd things, many of them promoted by the professors themselves. And here they tell us Tyler Robinson on his mother's Facebook, they seemed like good parents. The university brainwashed this kid. Here they tell us Tyler Robinson, 22 years old, turned in by his police officer father in their $600,000 home in Utah. The pursuit ends in pain and heroism. Tyler Robinson, the 22-year-old suspect, was arrested today after confessing to his father, Matt Robinson, a 22-year veteran of the Washington County Sheriff's Department, who turned him into the authorities without hesitation. Tyler, a Utah local who lives in a sprawling 6-bedroom house, ran off after shooting the 31-year-old founder of Turning Point. In the middle of a speech at Utah Valley University on September 10th, but guilt or duty led him to reveal the details to his father, who contacted the feds and helped ensure the takedown or capture. Trump praised the raid on Fox and Friends, saying, "We got him thanks to someone very close." That someone was his father. That's why I ask you to show the utmost respect to Tyler's family. Here we can see Tyler Robinson with his father, Matt Robinson. Before going to college, before all the craziness, before this guy became radicalized, Tyler Robinson committed this crime. He committed this crime because he believed that Charlie Kirk was intolerant. And according to the progressives themselves, we can't tolerate the intolerant. They've shown their ignorance again, since that phrase was from Karl Popper. However, Karl Popper defined an intolerant person not as someone who thinks differently, but as someone who uses violence as an argument. Just like Tyler Robinson himself did, who is now behind bars and will very likely receive the death penalty. Just as Piers Morgan says, Tyler Robinson, 22 years old, ended Charlie Kirk. He disliked his opinions and called him a fascist, but ironically, he was the real fascist. Since he ended the life of a person, a father, just because he thought differently. And listen, Tyler Robinson's main goal wasn't to end Charlie Kirk, but to send a message to all of us. And just look, that's all. This was Charlie Kirk. He was quite approachable. He walked among the crowd. He wasn't guarded. They could have taken him out in his own home or in a private setting, but no, they chose to take out Charlie Kirk during one of his events, during one of his debates, in front of thousands of people, in front of the cameras, so that the whole world could see it. This was definitely a political crime. In fact, they're telling us here, what happened to Charlie Kirk was a political crime meant to send a message. The goal was not just to take Charlie Kirk's life, but also to make the biggest impact possible. That's exactly what happened. Ladies and gentlemen, I would really like to know your opinion. What do you think about this case? What do you think about the capture of Tyler Robinson? Let's hope they give him the death penalty, definitely. Ladies and gentlemen, may Charlie Kirk rest in peace.